Did you feel it was slipping away, and how did you get it back?
Yeah, well, there's no doubt it was slipping away a little, but that was the quality of the opposition and a couple of their pieces up front. But I thought our resilience again was remarkable, and we've had an attitude to a squad and a squad mentality all the way through this season, and right now, without saying too much, we're stretching and testing that out a fair bit, to be honest. And there was a bit of an opportunity out there today to probably not keep at it. And to our boys' credit, they did keep at it. We see the Magpies play today with low numbers, and we see what's going on there. And we've got a few boys missing, and we're hanging in. And sometimes you just got to be really proud of the way we're hanging in. And I'm incredibly proud of the group with the way they've kept going about it.
So, Ken, let's go through the mechanics of the day. When did you know Hartlett was out and why?
He got here, did a bit of his warm-up and stuff, and he had a little bit of a niggle on his hip flexor, and he just didn't feel like he could possibly get through it. And as we've done all year, in the situation like today where we've had the Magpies playing almost at the same time, which is hard for us to manage, but we want our players to play as many as we can because we're actually, we're having to use a lot of that squad currently, so we need them in good footy form too. So there was a late-minute call to North Adelaide where Sam Mayes was playing at halftime in the mud, and get a shower, Sam, and come back down. And what a remarkable part of the day when he kicks the goal and puts us back in front. So great effort by him, great effort by the team.
In terms of that second last play that gets that second last goal, Williams to Mayes, how proud of you were Williams then at that moment, just to know what the situation was?
He's a really smart footballer, Dill, and that's why we picked him high, and we know he's got incredible football intelligence. We know he can play at the level. He's just learning to grow as a person, but it was a really, really good moment that he was involved in, and particularly, as I said, for Maisie to be involved as well. But again, we had our fourth debutant today. It's a good effort by the boys.
Would it be fair to say it'd been a tough start for him because he seemed to be struggling to find the pace of it or keep up with the pace?
Yeah, well, he had Dane Rampy. I'm not sure anyone took too much notice, but he had Dane Rampy stand on the side of him. It's a pretty big task. Dane Rampy can beat any player in the competition, and first game against him, it's it's a real challenge. But you have to hang in there, and that's what we ask the team all the time: is just stay there and just keep competing for each other. If you just keep competing for each other, your moment may come. And for Dill, it came very late for us.
So what was happening to Dixon at that time?
With what?
He seemed to be limping. He seemed to be limping and not being able to get back into that goal square quick enough.
He's bashed up, as he is every week. He was bashed up, and he kept going. I thought Charlie was outstanding, and we expect a lot from him. He gives us a lot. I thought he was really, really important for us, and in my personal view, I probably think he was almost the best player on the ground.
Your other leaders too, Ken. I mean, Ollie and Trav have been spoken of a lot this year, but for their performance to really guide that young group when it mattered, it must have been crucial in the result overall.
Yeah, I think they've been really strong for us all. I thought Trav today, particularly second half, was amazing with the way he worked and willed his way into the game for us and just kept running. And he was he was very, very important for us in the second half. And I think they carry a big load, the two mids. I thought Drew again. We sometimes miss what he's been able to develop as a player this year, and just a couple of years of footy basically. And his defensive effort and pressure today and work rate was amazing as well.
And how did you think Allaire handled the day, and particularly that matchup with Hayward?
Yeah, really well. I think he he would have been nervous, and there's not a player in the world that can't spend the quality time that he spent at Sydney, and have a great connection to that footy club. We know it was going to be a challenge for him, but we told him before the game that he was with a group now that was going to be there for him all day. And a couple of big moments. Allaire, he took on some challenges, but he had a couple of really big moments for us. I'm sure at the end of the day he was relieved to get the game out of the way, and more relieved to get a win for his team and get us in a position we're pleased with.
It was one of those big moments that Markey took in the centre square with about probably a couple of minutes left. The intercept Markey took in the centre square.
Yeah, I think there was a couple in the last quarter. He just was really strong for us, and he does what he does. He attacks a game with very little fear, and he did that again for us in that moment. He's part of the group down there that rely on each other's effort and teamwork.
Ken, what's the read on Mackenzie?
Yeah, he's just got, well, as soon as we know, he's got a little bit of somewhere of collarbone, I would say. I don't know whether it's, we don't know. I shouldn't even try and guess. I don't think it's broke, but we'll wait and see where it lands. And, another one will just get added to the list probably, but hopefully he's not too bad. And if it's not broken, he's probably a chance.
What about the courage, I guess, shown in that instance?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen it back at all, but I think from first look, it looked like the two boys both were going pretty hard. And I don't know who the Sydney Swans boy is, but Trent come off worse. Yeah, well, Hayward, Trent come off worse for wear, but it's the way these blokes, everyone in this competition, that's the way they play their footy. They're remarkably, the remarkability of their courage is unbelievable. When you watch them play, people underestimate how tough they are.
Ken, what means more to you, that you beat a top 8 side now, or the way you won this game?
Well, I dislike the conversation around top 8. I just think it's a waste of breath and a waste of time when people talk about it. It's around the season. I don't know how many times we have to talk about it, but we're 10-4. I'm remarkably proud of the resilience of the team and the group that got tested today all the way through, and they were able to hang in there and get the job done. And Sydney had their challenges, there's no doubt about that. But when they got a bit of momentum in the last quarter, our blokes found a way to get back to the front and win the game. That was important.
Just back to Dixon, Ken, do you expect him to be okay for next week?
Yeah. Charlie ends every week limping, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. He gets, as I said, he gets in a lot of contests. He gets physically bashed up a bit, but he thrives in it, to be honest. He likes that. I think if he didn't come off sore, he probably thinks he didn't play.
And would we be able to print what you were thinking when Jonas got caught holding the ball by Franklin?
Yeah, you could, but it'd be a bit rude probably at times. But, I could see it coming, and Tommy's as he said, I cut on a bit of an angle. I thought I was under control, and said, yeah, well, it's just one of them moments. And Buddy, to his credit, he's got some wheels. He got hold of him, and Tom gives everything though. So for Tom to make a mistake, it'd be rare. And I don't know whether it was a mistake. It was just the pressure of the Sydney Swans.
What did you make of how you were able to handle Buddy early, and I guess how he was able to influence the game late?
Well, I'm not surprised that he was able to influence the game late. He's done that for however many years he's been playing this game. He's one of the absolute greats of the game with the way he plays. But, I thought at the end of the day, it's team v team. It's not Buddy versus Lear or Buddy versus someone. It's not Trav versus, it's both teams going at it. I think it was a pretty good game of football again, I'd imagine. And I'm just glad we come out on top.
Ken, just big picture now. I mean, fourth spot, you got players coming back over the course of, I guess, the next month or 6 weeks. You're building towards finals. You must be confident that when you get those players back, that you're in position now to give it a good shake and I guess hold on to that top fourth.
Yeah, well, that's the challenge, and that's the goal, is to finish as high as we can. As I always say, as many wins as we can get between now and the end of the year, and then determine where we finish on the ladder will give us our opportunity if we deserve it. Whether players come back or don't come back, we've just got to keep working and keep going at it, and make sure we give ourselves a chance to be in every game, which I think we've done, bar probably 2 games for the whole year. We've been in just about every game we've played in.
Just on Charlie's form, it feels like he's snuck up a little bit on some people he's had a very, very good past couple of months in terms of his form. How have you sort of assessed how he's built into the season?
Yeah, I think that's a really fair assessment. I think he's had a really strong last 6 weeks particularly. And, as I said, he gets a lot of attention, he gets a lot of pressure. We kick a lot of balls to him. I think he might have kicked 26 or 7 goals now for the season. He's been pretty strong for us. He always is for us each week. We couldn't, we wouldn't like to deal without him, but as we've shown, we've been able to deal without a lot of pieces. So, if we had to, we could. But his form has been pretty consistent.
Just on that, Ken, do you need to push it around to other forwards rather than be seen to be relying on Dixon on those entries inside 50?
No, I think we do. I think we do share the ball around a little bit more. Charlie's, like Buddy, I think if you looked at the amount of times that they direct the ball to him, wouldn't surprise you that the key forwards in the comp get a lot of ball sent their way. But, we're building that forward line. That's why we keep playing the likes of Georgiades and Marshall alongside with Charlie to get that growth of a 3 tools, and hopefully they continue to develop. And I'm sure, as I've said for a couple of weeks now, I'm sure in 8 or 10 weeks' time, they'll be better together than they are today.
And just back to Drew for a moment, how's he been able to take his game to another level this year? Obviously missed all of last year, and yet in a game like this, crucial time late, he was able to influence with his defensive stuff that he's been so good at all season.
Yeah, we're always confident that Drew was going to be a pretty good AFL player. He had to deal with some significant injuries with his feet, and that's what's held him back. But there was never any doubt whether he could play AFL football. It's just a matter of getting a good run at it. And at the moment, he's been able to get a pretty good run at it. And he's a remarkable athlete, the way he trains and the way he works. And he's he's one of those really strong defensive mids that you just love in your team because he goes both ways all day.
And are you likely to get any reinforcements next week, or is it a bit further down the track for some of you guys?
Yeah, there may be. I mean, Tommy Cleary, I think, nearly be ready next week. There'll be one or two others that'll be getting closer to the mark, I think. But, the reality is we're probably another week or two away from getting too many back.